outer space, monkey. Tell us what you learned. Frank, he must have hit his head on something. He won't even talk to me. Second of all, every time I see an astronaut on TV, astronauts act like they're all full of themselves. If you're an astronaut, knock it off. You're doing a monkey's job.
He is a weekly correspondent on the Bob and Tom Show. He's toured with Blue Collar Comedy, Larry the Cable Guy, and he's performed all over the world, and he's now got 4 stops in Indiana this week. Please welcome comedy headliner Reno Collier. Thanks for being with us today.
I appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate you coming into the studio, too, and not doing some weird Zoom thing with us.
Dude, I can't figure it out anyway.
The next 2 of us. So tell us about your shows. What can folks expect if they come out?
So these next group of 4 shows are me and Josh Arnold from the Bob and Tom Show that I go on, and Jeff Oskey. We all do stand-up. It's really 3 headliners, and I go last, but that's not because I'm that great. I mean, it's just the show is just bam, 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 bam. So it's kind of a way to get out and meet fans from the Bob and Tom Show, and they're a blast, man. I mean, we have so much fun, and we goof on each other, and it's a blast.
And I might have unfairly pigeonholed you. I described you as blue-collar comedy, but really, there's universal appeal to your stuff.
Yeah. Well, blue collar kind of is too. Like I toured with for 12 years. I was on tour with Larry the Cable Guy.
Right.
2 of it was a arena thing with me and Ingval and Foxworthy. And blue collar means whatever you want it to mean. It's people who work for a living. It's kind of along the line. So it's not all redneck jokes. When that all came up, it was. But I mean, like during COVID, I worked construction the whole time. You know, like and loved it. Every freaking second of it. Because my kids weren't going to quit eating because I couldn't do shows. You know what I mean? So I was like, I got to do something.
And you probably got lots of material.
I got a ton. Dude, I have the best thing, I always wondered why comics only talk about airplanes and stuff. Because that's all you do. But when you actually get out in real life, it's like this opening of, I've got tons of new material. And it's been a blessing to me to be able to.
Now, before we started the interview, when you walked into the studio, I said that you are a lot leaner than what I pictured. I'd only seen you on television. You've trimmed up. You're in shape.
I went to Cambodia and I had this stomach. No, I'm just kidding. I quit drinking. I had to. I didn't want to, but I had to quit drinking. And oddly enough, I know it's National Beer Day or whatever, and I was sitting there like, oh, come on, man. But I had to give it up, man.
Yeah.
So, but oddly enough, the pounds just shred off. I drank a lot. Like I wasn't like celebrating National Beer Day. I was putting Jack Daniels on my Cheerios and running amok, and so no, I feel better, man. My writing's better. Everything's better. I'm not anti-drink, and I wish I could do it. I just suck at it.
Now, I want to make mention. You work with a charity, A Soldier's Child.
Yes,
I think that's really neat. Tell us about that.
So it started 13 years ago. There's a famous picture of a little boy getting a flag, and he's crying in the flag. He was from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where I live. So my friend Daryl started this organization called A Soldier's Child, and it was started from one kid, right? And it was so that these kids are not forgotten. When they lose a parent who sacrificed their life for all of us, sometimes they get pushed aside. So through their 18th birthday, we put on a birthday party for them in honor of their parent. We have college scholarships. Unfortunately, we have over 4,000 kids now, and we have a summer camp and all this different camp. The summer camp has become really cool because now the kids are old enough that the ones that started out young are the counselors. So a kid that's been through something like that, they go to school and they're sitting in their desk, and that kid doesn't, the people beside them don't understand what they're going through. So we try to network everybody together so that they have someone to bounce their feelings and everything off of that has something in common with them. That's really an odd, bad deal to go through.
I described your comedy as being universally appealing, and it is. But I wonder who are the people that you think are funny that may have influenced you as you were coming along.
Comedians. Brian Regan was a huge influence on me, not just as a comedian, but like. He would come in. I worked at a comedy club when I was teaching school and stuff, and he would, because I wanted to do it, so he'd let me go up during his shows. And now I do that for other people. But he was so kind and the funniest human being I've ever seen. I mean, he literally makes me laugh. I look at his face and I start laughing.
We'll be remiss if I don't get to some of the dates coming up. Reno appearing tonight at the Fraternal Order of Eagles in Columbus, Indiana. Tomorrow at the Hobart Art Theater in Hobart, Indiana. Friday, August 12th at the 4th Floor Blues Club in Richmond. And Saturday, August 13th at the American Legion Post in Martinsville. Reno, thanks so much for coming in
Dude,
today.
thank you for having me. I loved it, man. Good. Thanks for letting me take a picture and all this stuff.
All
this
right.
is fun.
Tag me.
Yeah,
Tag me. That's
I will.
What you say, right?
I will.
We're going to take a break and be right back.